All right, all right, all right. I'm back. The devil knows, Satan knows he's a liar and the father of lies. As I was saying, this here came strictly from a place. I, Sister Deborah, prophetess again, in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me coming again on this Deborah platform with the same message, but this is part 2 of the biggest cover up. The Father want me to really expound a little more on the fact that we as individuals are working extra hard to cover up spirit and truth. We need to relay to others as well only that which a higher has put in us. If it's not in us, then we can't relay to others spirit and truth. Um, don't wait. Please, please, please don't wait until time get hard. And what hard means is like with me, times is hard. It's already. I'm already in the midst of everything that he's from the judgment among the church first, the house of Israel. It's just suffering. I'm suffering. And, and the reason why I'm suffering is because I'm seeing these things as he has created it. And it wasn't because I asked for it. It was what he created me for. Who am I to tell he that is the creator what to do with what is his? What to say regarding what belongs to him? Why would we be in that type of mindset? So therefore, Sister Deborah feels that I don't own anything, I don't control anything, and I thank the Most High for that. But I'm just saying that there is a spirit of truth. And the reason why, this is what's being said to my thought pattern, the gate is narrow is because it's a spiritual gate. It's a place that's spiritual. You see what I'm saying? And it matches up with what he's telling me, in this day. And this is why very few is going to find it, because this is a spiritual narrow gate. It is the tree, it's leading you to the tree of life. You see? It's giving you the light so you may find the tree of life. You see? But if it's nothing in your spirit that leads you to the light so that the light may guide you to the tree of life, then wait a minute, hold up. Let's go with some thirsting. What about if we thirst? You see, it's so many things that's spiritual. Just think, how would you describe that thirst? You describe that thirst as desiring righteousness. That's a thirst. Desiring peace. Thirsting for the things and the characteristics that covers who he is. You thirst for that. You thirst for him giving you understanding. You thirst for him leading you. You thirst for him teaching you. You thirst. You thirst. It's just like knocking. You think that door he talking about is a door? Come on. When he said ask, you think he's talking about you ask your mom and your daddy? He's talking about these things that he's saying is spiritual. And all these thousands of years, they have made it natural, which was always resting in the dark. So that's why the broad gate leads to destruction. Because all the churches and and synagogues and the camps and everybody. It's not even say everybody in that sense, but many are on the dark side and finding pleasure there because they can deceive many. So what happens? Somebody said it in the live chat. I would give them a strong delusion, Deborah, to make sure they don't even look at a pin needle of life. Don't y'all think that's kind of powerful for a higher to do something like that? Y'all never thought he would you? But yes, he will. You mean you would make sure they'll never see the light? Don't mess with him. You don't know what you're messing with. Pretty much, everybody just think, oh, he loving, he caring, his grace and his mercy. You better wake up. He gave grace and mercy to all those heathens that were standing around watching and burning them people up on the tree. While the people in the tree dying. Hear me now, hear me now. This is how potent it is. Here you got slaves up on the tree burning. They've been hung. What you burning them for? And you got your kids and everybody around watching them burn to a crisp. The people that was watching, they still gained grace and mercy. You see? All of them lived for many years until they died old. Grace and mercy. So don't play with his grace and mercy as if it's something that you can only have and you got. Baby, grace and mercy been poured out on the whole world so that his will may be fulfilled. If there wasn't no mercy, grace and mercy, everybody be out of here. And even the ants will be gone. But because grace and mercy is what's holding everything in place according to his will. Hallelujah, Father, y'all. Hold him up, grace and mercy. My will must be done. Hallelujah. Hold him up. I had a will, Deborah, before the foundation of the world. I had a will. It's got to go according to that, Deborah. So I got to give him grace and mercy. Hallelujah. So that my word that's according to my will shall be done. You see? So while we running around here thinking we got it made and we did it and we did it, oh, they bothering us and they doing this. Yes, they doing everything and some. Right now, when I look at Negroes and I see how they are conducting themselves, I look at it and I say, since Ahia has made sure he stapled me in to the fact of what Deuteronomy end game is. And I look and I said, well, okay, they gone already, Father. Yes, they are. They gone. And I'm almost right beside him. Yes, you are. They gone. They gone. And in spite of them gone here, there's a big cover up to not accept the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter. Instead, they prefer using the platform to glorify the darkness that's in the world. And they'll throw some tokens in for you to make you think that they cheats, of the most high. They throw in it. But baby, look at them. Keep watching them. Y'all keep following them. And you will see. When you hear them, just listen to them. Don't say nothing. Just be attentive. And you hear it. You say, wait a minute. How did Sister Deborah know that to the T? You know why? Because it is what Ahia said it is from the heaven. Not from the mouth of Sister Deborah, but from the heavens itself. We think he don't see nothing. He just up there drinking lemonade. He don't see nothing. He ain't got time. He got to eat. No, come on now. That's the way people really think. That's why the heathen is saying, I know one thing. This is, y'all don't even understand this. Y'all don't even, I I said to the Father, I said, wait a minute, Father, wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute, hold up. What is it you so worried about the heathen knowing something? The heathen gonna know. The heathen shall know. And the heathen gonna know. And the heathen gonna know. I'm like, what's the deal with the heathen? Want me to tell you how to deal with the heathens? The heathen knows spirit and truth. That's saying it. The heathen knows spirit and truth. They know the truth of the whole matter, y'all. You got our Negro men talking about searching their history. Before you was born and before I was born, the heathen had our history. Before we even got over here, they had our history. And we're so gone, but we've been gone. You see? But not to the point where we at now. Because I see our men's, their pants hanging all the way down to their knees, but you want the heathens to respect that. How is it women stand around and walk with men and their pants hanging down, no belt, no pants ain't even up on their butt, and all you see is the whole underwear? What would make a woman walk with a man right like that? What would make a man want to walk like that and then turn and tell the heathens and the Gentiles, y'all did us this way, respect us, y'all need to respect us, and wait a minute, you're supposed to have been representing a higher. Look how you conducting yourself. So what happens? The heathen said, he ain't coming back for them people. They gone. That's what they think. That's how they think. Oh no, they too far gone. He ain't coming back for them. They gone. See, because another thing the heathen knows. The heathen knows that we have black men that have done so many hateful things. They don't feel nothing they done can compare to the things our black men have done. The only thing about it, you got our black women for many a years hiding the dirt of our black men. Another biggest, no, it ain't the biggest, it's another big cover up. All this time, all you have to do, I'm gonna tell you have to do, because a higher than give you the gift to do it, you ain't got no business doing. Sister Deborah talked to so many people. Oh my. And to hear the stories, I don't think it's one story I have not heard of. I mean, it gets worse and worse every time though. But then you get numb to it because you didn't heard it so horrible. And to hear what our forefathers did, it makes me understand how my Ahia must have felt to place them in the land of milk and honey, the richest land on the face of the earth. They wouldn't want for nothing. So you have to be able, let me tell y'all this here. When you're in the light, you have to be able to feel Yah. You have to. If you can't feel him, then you need to stay at some altar or stay on I can't even say stay on your knees, because you have to be able to touch the hem of his garment. That's a part of being in that closet. You got to grip that garment and say, I ain't letting you go. Remember when Jacob was wrestling with that, it was in his mind. But I ain't gonna let this go. Why? He put it in it was in his spirit. He was wrestling. He said, I ain't finna let you go, and I know you the key to bless me. No, I ain't. I think his hip was out of place. No, he wasn't. Flesh, I don't give it. He didn't pay no attention to the fact that his hip was out of place. Why? He was wrestling in the spirit. There ain't nowhere in the world you should be able to come on the rim of the spirit. And he said that's the biggest cover up, because people don't want the people to know that this is spirit and truth. This thing is spirit. And that's what they've been teaching. All those churches on the corners, all these people on these YouTubes, and not just before YouTube, all the ones that be in a TV and all, they've been teaching darkness. They have not been teaching spirit and truth. That's the biggest cover up. And now it makes sense why everybody's going down. It makes sense because it said, I came with all power, son Yeshua, to redeem them. I done so much. I left a book with him. I told him I'm now living in them, and it's nothing would take them to spirit and truth. He said that's the biggest cover on the face of the earth. Is covering up everything he stands for. That makes sense, Father Ahia. That makes sense. Why they skipped Genesis 1 and 2 and made it what they wanted to be. That's why they couldn't understand who us was. Because they never stepped in to spirit and truth. They stepped in it based on what they can see and believe. But they didn't think this thing is beyond what I can see. And only one can allow me to do that. If he that is spirit and truth abide in me and tell me A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you be like, wait a minute. How did I get way down there? Because you started with me on A. I took you to B. You learned B. I took you to C. You learned C. I took you to D. And that's how you got. I took you there. So that's how you end up there. You see? Then you look back and you say, okay. But where you took me here, but ain't nobody else here. Not as nobody, but it is letting you know, wait a minute, Deborah. Didn't I say very few shall find? Keep that in mind at all times. At all times. Because the very few that shall find, they're gonna be looking. Because they're gonna be thirsting. They're gonna be thirsting. They're gonna be yearning for me. They're gonna be in the closet, out of the closet, back in the closet for me. They're gonna be desiring to be in my presence when I'm gonna be in them. They're gonna want to know what tomorrow is going to be like. They're gonna want these things. Not just live off of message after message after message. Just to be living off of it. You're just living in darkness. You have to be able to climb on top of what the Father is already speaking. To be the light to the whole world. Is the world going to see this light? Yeah, they'll see it. But I bet you they won't mess with you. I bet you Satan won't come and strict you with disease and sickness. Because the light is too bright for them to come up on. And when Ahia did things, he did things when he, like, take for instance, if he does something for someone because they're walking in him and they're thirsty and they're walking in this light and they're finding their way, Ahia will bless their families. That's how Yah is. That's how he rumbles. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. You see, when he says daughter against mother, mother against daughter, because they ain't got no word. Because this word is spirit and truth. They're against each other because ain't no word between them. So I'm going to come bring that sword. And I put that sword right between them, Deborah. Mother going to be on this side and daughter going to be on this side. And neither one of them going to have any sense because the sword is in the middle. And that's what I put it. I come to bring the sword dead in the middle. To separate daughter and to separate mother. The reason why they're going against each other, because ain't no sword in between them. The sword is his word that proceeds out of his mouth. That's why it's a two-edged sword. No matter which way he swing his word, it's going to pierce you if he's aiming at you from the heavens. Why is a father against son, son against father? That's flesh. I come to bring the sword between you until you understand me in the middle of you. When there's two or more joined, I'm going to be in the midst. people can't get that. No, he ain't gonna be in the midst because you want him in the midst. You see, he told you, mother and daughter, father and son. Why? I'll bring that sword between them, Deborah. People try to make him look like something wrong with him. Why would he want to do that? To separate them. Why would he want to do that? Because he knows the only thing they have to live on is his word. And that got to proceed out of his mouth into your spirit. And when mother and daughter fall under that category, and they see that the sword is in the midst, he said, when there's two or more joined together, what? I'm going to be in the midst. That's that same sword between mother, father, and son. Going back to his midst, the biggest cover-up. Father don't want the sword in between him and his son. Furthermore, he don't even care about the sword. Could care less. Son could care less. He's trying to mimic father. Because father is in him. His father is in him. He's mimicking the same thing he was born out of. The flesh blood and the flesh ways. Y'all say, I come though to bring that sword on you. They don't want it. Same thing with mother and daughter. Oh, they don't want it. Oh, we love each other. That's my baby. That's my daughter. No, let me tell y'all something. A mother of six, I'm here to tell you, none of them mean nothing to me. A highest is in the midst, and that's where he's going to stay. And because I have put him where he should be, I don't have no problem with mine. You don't like what I say? You don't like what I do? You got the problem. Shalom. I don't deal with them on that level. And that's where they respect me, and that's where I respect them. As long as they know who I serve, that's all that's important. Don't mess with my Father. Because when you mess with me, that's exactly what you do. They're fully aware of that. Okay? So they know that the sword is on my side. And that's what my siblings and my parents knew. They knew it. They knew their child has been talking like this since he was a little girl. You think he gonna leave me now? No, he ain't. And I give him praise and glory and honor when I say that, because honestly, y'all, I didn't think I would make it. Because there were things he was showing me then. I was like, nah, Father, I know I'm gonna be about here, ain't I? I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be going on home, man. You ain't going nowhere. Don't forget, heaven's designed, orchestrated your mission. You're gonna be there until I call you home, till I put you to sleep and to judgment. So that's why I tell y'all, I'm not looking for no promised land. I'm looking for the New Jerusalem. And if I'm here on the earth, I want to hear about the two prophets. I want to hear about it, because they're gonna be cutting up. Ooh, they're gonna be some cutting up people. I mean, not people, spirits. Ooh, they're gonna cut up. They're gonna be cutting up from the floor. So back to this here, the biggest cover up. And it's covered up all over Facebook, YouTube, because say, for instance, Sister Deborah get on her Facebook and she says something. You'll have them saying, so right, that is so true. You don't hear people expounding. You see what I'm saying? You don't hear people, they say the same thing over and over. People don't understand this. If we can get on top of Beyonce, let's say Beyonce, why are Beyonce on our page? Why do we have to show her and what she doing and clamor on top of it? You see what I'm saying, y'all? Why do and the problem, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I do have a serious problem. Sister Deborah got a real bad problem, because I have a problem with something that shows me that the house of not the tribe of Judah is terribly gone, y'all. I'm going to 98 now, and them they gone. Because they always, these Negroes on these pages, these YouTubes and Facebook, always covering dirt from their people and not covering the dirt of the heathens and the Gentiles. I think that's deep. You got one guy said he's a pastor, Marcus Rogers. His mama is white. You would never see him covering anything about a white person. He's always on top of black. And when I mean black, famous people, he's trying to get them to connect to him because he's trying to get this. And that's what I think is really sad. Because the higher was telling me that those that he has called, you can tell them, I can tell them, I know that Marcus Rogers is not of Yah, okay? Because the heathens and the Jews are blowing him up and keeping him wealthy. Big time. You see what I'm saying? So I know that he is not it. And when they start having people who's coming on there and supporting them and doing things and giving them, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. But man, you ain't giving no spirit and truth. You ain't giving nothing righteous. Furthermore, he don't believe in Hebrew Israelites. He think they the worst of the worstest people. You know, he's white. His mama brought him up. So he don't see himself to be black. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but no, he don't. He see himself to be better than that. But he's so lost because when he was on Kanye and a couple of other guys, he was on them telling y'all can contact me and I can minister to you, baby. You trying to get that dollar. He didn't even, people couldn't even see straight through it. And the heathens and the Gentiles support him greatly. Okay? But then here's Sister Deborah sitting giving the right now word, the light, the spirit. You think Sister Deborah give a rat's behind and she supported? I don't give a rat's behind. I'm already rich. I'm rich in the most higher, the only way that's going to live eternal. The rich in spirit and truth. But that just shows you what the cover-up is. The cover-up is they support darkness 100. Light? No, nobody won't stand near the light. No one would. It's known even in the biblical. Instead, the only thing they will do for me is try to kill me. Try to bring me down. Try to be negative. Try to make me not who I. Woo! I'm one that can't nobody come trying to tear me down, and none of it because he been building. You think he gonna come to a little bitty girl at 4 years old, be dealing with her in the spiritual realm, and then wait till she gets 61 and then allow somebody knucklehead to come along and say, okay, we finna break her. You can't break me. Only one can break me is a higher himself. And you best bet he didn't let me live up until 61 for somebody to just come along and break me. You can't break me, nor can you make me. Okay? So the biggest cover-up is people are walking in darkness and they calling it light. People are walking in darkness and calling it righteous. People are walking in darkness and calling it the light. People are walking in darkness and loving it. And they don't want you to even cut on the light. It is sad, but it's one of the biggest cover-up. Because it's impossible for Sister Deborah in between 6 to 9 months cover this Deuteronomy 28, begging people to go in there and read it. Can't get nobody to do it. Can't get them to do it. Because once, like before the foundation of the world, I gave many scriptures. I gave a billboard. And I gave the ones that's telling you all of this took place before the foundation of the world. What Ahia looks for is, where's the thirst? Where's the one that thirsts for it? Oh, they go in there, they be thirsty. Oh, I want to know this for myself. I want to see this. I want to feel this thing. I want to know this in my spirit. Woo, Father, come on, give it to me. Give it to me like you gave it to her. Father, let me know. No, they don't want to know it. They say with their mouth. They want to see and hear only the things and magnify the things that they can see with their natural eyes and hear with their ear. You know what they want to do away with? Spirit and truth. So knowing what took place before the foundation of the world is fully spirit and truth that manifests here today. They don't want to know that, Deborah. They don't want to know about the end game of Deuteronomy 28. Because the end game of Deuteronomy 28 tells them that, baby, I'm coming for you once you're gone. That's too much like righteous. You mean to tell me we as a people going to be gone here, and that's when you're going to deliver us? We don't care. We don't care. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to be this. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying. No one cares. He said they say with the mouth. And this is what he's saying. He said, Deborah, now, how do you think I feel? That's what he's saying to my spirit right now. How do you think I must feel? You know what he's talking about? When I was moved to Atlanta, Georgia, when he sent me to Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to give y'all this little a testimony. He sent me to Atlanta, Georgia with them 6 babies and my husband. We went down. We stayed in a hotel. My husband's job, I went to his job in Missouri, told him he needed a transfer. The father worked it out. They gave him the papers the next day. Bam, we had a hard time getting a van. We were just going because I was in a dream. Let me explain to y'all. I'm gonna give that, and I'm gonna kind of taper it off. Over Highway 70, going. Let's say just Highway 70, and it's going east and west. Okay, I was in a total vision, y'all. Total. See, that's why I say many of y'all don't know what a vision is. You know. And we live and die and never know. Okay, but I was in a total vision over a highway, over an overpass highway, and it's going east to west. And I didn't see cars on this highway, but it was packed. As far as I could see east, I saw people running, people, women, men, boys, girls, old, young, running. They had a lot of things on one accord. A whole lot of things on one accord. And as I was standing up on the top of them, on the overpass, I was looking because I was shocked. And this was a voice. He went on the side of me. He went on this side. He went in front of me. But he was in the back of me talking. And he said, Deborah, for what do thou see? And I said, I think it's kind of messing up. I don't know. And it's no storm or anything. I don't know why that's happening. He said, for what do thou see it? And I went into a panic. Oh, all these people. I can get that testimony. I was like in a panic what I saw. All those people, they were running from the east way, running to the west. And they had one thing they had many things in common. They were all running in the same direction. Nobody wasn't crossing each other. Everybody just running in the same direction. But it was as far as I could see on the highway east. They were all running west. And everything he asked me twice. He said, now for what do I see it? I had to repeat it to him. Then he said, what are they doing? I said, oh, they running. Oh, they're all running. And he asked me again, for what are they doing? And then he said, can you hear them? Can you hear them? That's how he said. He said, can you hear them? Can you hear them? I said, yeah. He said, what are they saying? What are they saying? I said, they say fire. They say it's a fire. There's a fire. He said, what do they say? I said, they say it's a fire. He said, okay. They say it's a fire. They running from the east, going west, and they say it's a fire. And I said, but they're knocking each other down. Nobody's picking no one up. And people are falling all over the place. He said, what did I say? I said, they're knocking each other down and nobody's picking each other up. I was like in a panic, y'all. And then he said, okay, there's a fire east. They're saying fire. And they're all running in one direction. They're all saying fire. No one is picking each other up. And then he says, okay, I need you to go east. You know what I said, y'all? But they said it's a fire east. He said, I know, Deborah, but I need you to go in the direction of the fire. You know what I said next? Yea, Father, I shall go. I went home, told my kids. After it was over, I never turned around to see their voice. It was just like a vision. It just disappeared. I went home at that time. I was in the car at a park when I went into this vision. I went home, told them what had happened, the vision I had, and we got the book up. Guess what was east? Atlanta, Georgia. So that leads you back to where I said that he have told me this several times in my life. This is what he have told me several times in my life. I would be in the hotel. We there and we in the hotel. I would take the bus and go all the way downtown in McDonald, all over Atlanta. I mean, all over Georgia. And I would come home at night, just trying to get a feel of what is it you got me down here to do. And I remember being on the bus crying, saying, Father, why are these pastors and wives so lifted up? Every billboard had a pastor of a church, him and his wife, lifted up high. He said that's where their spirit is at. It lifted up high. They think they above me. They lift themselves from the earth on billboards because that's where their mindset is at. I mean, he was dealing with me on that, but he never, when I wanted to talk to him, he wouldn't talk. He wouldn't say nothing to me. And I was just crying and crying and crying every time. And I was sad. I was real sad in my spirit. So this particular day, I said, okay, I've asked you many of questions. I need you. I've been calling for you and you refuse. I said, I'll tell you what, this weekend, I'm taking my children and we're going home. And that was it. And I heard a small voice say, Deborah, what's wrong? First thing I said, oh, so you hear me now. So you hear me now. Then I went into a crying spell. I said, you told me to come here. You brought me here. He said, well, what's wrong? I was starting to tell him everything that I saw, all the weakness and the darkness. And when I finished, you know what he said to me, y'all? Want me to tell y'all what he said? He said, for thou see it, that which I see from heaven. Thou see it well. Thou see it well. Thou see it that which I see from heaven. So the whole idea was he wasn't going to communicate with me for those 2 weeks until I'm able to see what he sees from heavens in the purpose of me coming there. You see? But I had to see it out of the natural and feel it in the spirit. That's why he was silent to me for 2 weeks. So he was explaining to me, and then he said to me, you see well. So when I said that during this here video, I was saying that he have said that to me several times, that I'm not seeing what I'm not supposed to see. I'm seeing what he's allowing me to see so I can see clear. So the things that's actually taking place, it's not things that's he wants me to close my eyes or blind my eyes. He wants me to speak toward whatever he gives me to speak. And when he said to me, the biggest cover up, I was like, you know what? And I was in the bathroom. I thought that was really neat because he was like, he was dealing with me, telling me how that which is spirit and truth is covered up. And all the darkness is plainly seen. And I was like, but that makes sense though, Father. That's the way I can see it. And that's when he began to tell me the things that I have spoke about and how much light was in what was said. He was just telling me how much, you can't enter into anything as close as you have given it. I have given it to give you. But it's just, it is what it is. I want to tell y'all something else. It's not a time that gonna ever be and was that Ahia is not going to have his speaking. Okay? So don't think that Ahia is not allowed whom he has chosen before the foundation of the world to be a mouthpiece for him. Okay. So, and that's another kind of going back to, I said, the biggest cover up is because people thinking you shouldn't say nothing when you have to pierce their spirit realm to really, in a sense, you have to pierce and establish, because it's like many think that they're real. No, they do think they can do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They think that it's okay. They think that they're going to do good. It's going to be okay. But the Father is telling me today, I mean, right in my spirit today. Now, this is something I already knew. He said, but wait till them times come. Because a lot of people do not know. It's going to come a time where you're going to need the fire department, and he ain't going to be there. You're going to need the doctor, and you ain't going to be able to go to. You're going to need the dentist, and you ain't going to be able to, they're not going to be there. You're going to need the police more than once, and they're not going to come. You see, this is, do you kind of get why it's important to have spirit and truth? But if you feel that it's more important to have that flesh to cover you now, and then when those hard times come, oh, well, I'm going to call this, and you go on, keep on, thinking that it's going to be there. Because, see, Sister Deborah, she already seen that time. I've seen that time already. That you're going to have a toothache, and you ain't going to be able to go to the dentist. And it's right at the door. Things going to happen in your community while you're driving. Accidents. People going to be doing things that you off the chain. Because I see exactly what he is going to allow. The level of a wicked and evil that he's going to allow to break loose. Because you want to deny something. You want to deny. You want to ignore the light. You want to deny spirit and truth. You want to deny everything. You want to cover up. I tell you what. She's talking now, but I'm walking later. So that's why Sister Deborah is saying, you might see me. You might hear me. See it and hear it me. But you don't know what the Father has planned. Because, see, everybody, not everybody, when I say that, that's just the phrase I normally say, but many people thinking that, oh, I cross that bridge when I get there. No, you won't cross no bridge when you get there, because it ain't going to be no bridge for you to cross. We're in that day already. But because there's no spirit and truth resting in you, you can't see that darkness at that level. Only time you're going to see it is when it's hitting on your body. And those it's closer to you. Then you will see it. And believe it or not, it's already there. It's already there. So if he's saying, come on now, y'all, you better get you some light and head toward the narrow gate, which leads to life. Come on, let's get, you think people getting up doing that? No. Because they got plans for the rest of their lives. They got plans for tomorrow. They got plans for next month. They got plans for next year. They got plans for November and December. They got plans for next January. Because they planning, hey, this thing gonna go smooth. And it might appear to be going smooth. But the overall is, everything he spoke in Revelation, it's on, y'all. It is on. So we're thinking that we're going to escape it because it's something in us that's so marvelous that the Father is not going to allow his will to step into this day. We got another thing coming. This thing is real. It is real. And like I say, and many will go to and fro everywhere on all websites, plans. But you know what also? I'm going to say this. And this is a form of comforting me. And that is this. They didn't believe then. And the darkness today is so pitch black. He said, they ain't going to believe now. But do you think I care? Said the Father. He could care less. So he just saying, if I got some running the race, they going to remain in the race until I call them home. And that means sleep. Okay? So the race is still going on. Those who run in the race in a higher, they're still on the track. They're still running toward the finish line. They don't stop because people don't want light. No. Sister Deborah got to keep pressing on. Sister Deborah got to keep going on. Why? Because he's going to reveal every day as time go on who's who and what's what. He's going to bring you to the point where he's going to bring Sister Deborah to the point where she'll know exactly. I pretty much know because I got the spirit of discerning, and a lot of people don't understand the power of the gift of discerning is you don't even have to be face to face with somebody to discern. You can discern their words and shoot straight through it. That because the spirit of discerning is spirit. It is truth. It is a spirit. It's a gift, but it is a spirit. It is spiritual. It's not something that fleshly. It is spiritual. So if it's spiritual, that means it should be able to see what man don't see. It should be able to hear what man don't hear. You see? And now I can't say you see, but that is what the spirit of discerning is. It is to discern good and evil, to discern what is in the midst of what's righteous. You see what I'm saying? What is running in that lane? And people just don't even know. It's been present with me since I was a little girl. It ain't going nowhere. It's going to rest therein. So I truly thank the Father for just being all that he is, all that he was, and all that he's going to be. And pretty much covering the fact that we can play the game. We can cover up. We can put on all these wolves clothing and dress up like sheep. It doesn't matter. Like he said, it's over. It's finished. So the game is not, a higher is not getting played on. He's just ending the game. He's the one that's going to end the game. And I thank him for that. And it's a lot of things. And the reason why I say that is because I see a lot of things taking place and you don't hear nobody saying anything about it. And people who are walking in the light and heading to find the narrow gate, that's their mission. They're supposed to be climbing on top of stuff like that and saying to others and teaching others how a higher has a will designed in that. But if the Father don't have them to be that, then who do they stand for? Who do they represent? You get what I'm saying? Who do you represent? Who do you stand for? You see? Just imagine, you seen how in Egypt, he brought all of them out of the whole house of Israel out of the Pharaoh's hand, out of Egypt, right? But if you really go into there and you see how many of them that lost their lives in the wilderness, it was a lot of them. You see? See, people really think that the Father don't see. He only see what he think he sees. He don't see the beginning and the end to everything he has orchestrated. When he brought them out, did not they give them wealth of jewelry and all kind of things? Look how they took it when they got it and took it over to the promised land. But just think, don't you think that the Father knew that they was going to see how we take him? We take him as one that shows you the weakness of our flesh to have no connection to our spirit, because we see him as one that don't know nothing. That's how we conduct ourselves. That he don't know nothing about what's going on. He don't know what I'm doing. He don't know who I am. He don't know what I'm doing in my house. He don't know nothing about me. Go on. Okay. So when that storm come and it start raining and it won't stop, okay, we're going to see who you're going to be calling for. Make sure you understand it won't be him. The biggest cover up is the things which are spirit and truth. They don't want to preach it. They don't want to teach it. They don't want to reveal it. But guess what? The heathens knows all about it. That's why he keeps saying, and the heathen's going to know, and the heathen's going to know. What he's saying is the heathens think since they were allowed to get away with all that they have gotten away with, and we are conducting ourselves like crazy people. Look how we acting as a people. I know none of y'all want to see that. None of y'all want to talk about it. None of y'all want to cover it and stand on top of it. The men don't want to tell the men to get it right. The women don't want to tell the women to get it right. Nobody want to say anything outside of the white man bothering us. Same old, same old. Same old, same old. You see? But what is happening is there is going to be so many pestilence in the land. Oh, yes, y'all. It's going to be a lot of that. It's going to take out a lot of people. And you hear Negroes. I'm going to show you something else this is why I know that a lot of people are walking in the darkness, and it's the biggest cover up. They role playing in the midst of the cover up. Okay. The reason why they came up, a lot of people don't understand. It was said that they are taking the lives of monkeys, okay, because of the monkeypox. Negroes do not understand, and they won't understand because they're gone. And a lot of things that the reason why they're gone here is because of their uglies. Who they are. They just ugly people, and always been. Okay. The reason why they call it a monkeypox is because it connects to the stereotype. No, it ain't no stereotype. You know how they call us monkeys? That's the message they're sending. So when you get ignorant people on this devil platform trying to cover the news about monkeypox, I sit there and I say, Father, why would they do that? He said, because they're trying to get recognized. They want to be the news themselves to a people. I was like, but Father, it's just like set an example. This is what they're doing, you all. This is how they're doing. Anytime you get people who talk about they the people, or they're the children of the Most High, or higher, and you're trying to cover the dirt with the dirt for the heathens, for the heathens and the Gentiles. You're trying to cover the news for them. That shows you whose side you really on. Because you ain't speaking spirit and truth and telling nobody spirit and truth, but you telling them dirt. Monkeypox is, they call themselves trying to usher in a statement to heathens, to Gentiles, that we are monkeys, and there is a disease that's going to that is out, and they labor it monkey. And y'all, it has nothing to do with a monkey. So what in their minds will make them call it an animal likened to a monkey pop? It don't monkey pops. Why? It's because they know the heathens and the Gentiles always want to characterize us as monkeys. Those are the ones that got that perpetual hate, and they hateful. So they put that in there, and they telling you that this is something that's spreading, something they're doing themselves. It's what they're doing. They might off. I don't care. This is something they are doing themselves. And it's to keep up chaos. And then you running around here, see these Negroes out here killing each other by great numbers. Men conducting themselves like never. I ain't never seen the violence and the mindset of our men and women today. Never in 61 years have I seen what I see today. That's why I know that something is going on. And why is it the people who said, we the people ain't covering this up? Why ain't you telling spirit and truth of the matter of what's going on? They won't cover it. And everybody wants to make you wrong because you bringing them spirit and truth and the light, and everybody else is right. They can't cover what he says. Ever is just like it was and always be. Our sin minds, they try to destroy or they kill. They never believe him. That's what he's saying to me. So to me, I don't have no problem with nobody not believing me. I've been on here 4 years and I couldn't care less if one, as long as there's one. I'm that real, y'all. I'm for real. I'm just that real, because like Yeshua said, all that thou hast given me, it's no one coming toward my page in the messages unless a higher is sending them in that direction. You see? And if he's sending them and they're not getting what you're saying or being able to expound on top, then that shows you that, wait a minute, you are like unto the prophets of yesterday. They didn't hear him then, they're not now. So that makes a lot of sense still today to me. It does to me. And that's all that's important. As long as I know that the Father is giving me information. And in the midst of it, guess what? He's teaching me. He's teaching me even in the midst of me speaking. And that's what's beautiful for me. In the midst of the whole overall, he's still yet teaching me. And I love him for that. So again, the biggest cover up is spirit and truth. And that's the whole matter that has been covered up in the churches, in temples, in the synagogue, in the camps, in the homes, in the community, everywhere. That's what's missing. And no one cares. No one cares. Because they thinking that he owes them something. And they owe themselves, their own self, nothing. So the biggest cover up is they serve in darkness, pretending that they know something about the light. The light is nowhere in the midst of them. That's why they turn to the darkness of the world and the issues of the world to cover it. And they don't want to bring the people the food to the spirit. It's a cover up. So Sister Deborah said, anyone in the live chat, if you have any questions, you can ask. If you had any question, you can ask a question. I think we have a couple of more minutes in before I said shalom. If anyone have any questions, or you might have the answer or anything, any question. Thank you so much. I appreciate you tuning in. And that's a beautiful thing for me because what is left regarding the mark of the beast? What is left regarding the mark of the beast? What is left? Wait a minute. What is left regarding the mark of the beast? With me, for us, from what I can understand, the beast, I think that mark of the beast is not something that everybody think that it is. You see what I'm saying? I think that mark that the Father had the angels to put on his, don't forget, the mark of the beast. He told the angels to mark his before they damaged the trees, the earth, and the sea. The Father told him to mark his. So the mark of the beast is like unto, remember he said, mark them on the forehead. The mark of the beast is like unto trying to mimic. Yah's is a spirit, his is a natural. So I believe that See, and that's why I think it's kind of sad. The B that's out, y'all don't see it. See, this is what I was just saying to you all. The biggest cover up. Nobody talks about anything that revelation is spilling out. All this light and nobody's talking about it. Do you see, none of you all see that they have wrapped right back around? Now they're going to bring out and make it mandatory that the children get this B. Okay. Now they destroying the young ones. That's what they're trying to do. Now they're telling them they need it before they go into school. Okay. They were saying something similar to that last year, but now they're bringing it back, make it that mandatory in a lot of places. And all they have to do is bring it under a different category, like this monkeypox. All they have to do is sling that thing back through there and telling you that's the B for the monkeypox. You see what I'm saying? And what are they doing now? They putting a big thing out for the children to make sure they got all their shot records up to date. I don't know if y'all heard about this here. It's so much stuff going on. A lot of people is just in la la land, and they're thinking this thing is just going to we're going to go on in la la land. It's going to be really good. It's going to go my way. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to do this. And no one is really stepping into what is spirit and truth. That's why I say the beast is loose. He's already doing what he's doing. And I believe without a doubt that thing that they shot people with is the mark. Okay? I believe when the chip comes, it's going to be only people who going to be eligible are those who have gotten the what? The shot. You see? So they're going to be the only one eligible to get the chip. Okay? And that's what people don't understand. This thing has to be within them. You see? This has to be within them, because if it's not within them, then they can take it out at any time. Say, I don't want this more for the beat. You get what I'm saying? I don't want it then. I don't want it. It has to be something in them that he marked them with. And then when he says the forehead and the hand, that's to make sure anybody that got the B, you can get this here when we start shutting down the system so you can buy and you can purchase. Okay? Once you get the chip or in the forehead or in the hand. But the mark, I think that's what that B was. I don't care what nobody say. Just like the beast. A lot of people in the United States don't know. The beast is not coming from this area. You see Obama, okay? He's not really from here. This is not home for him. You see what I'm saying? This is not home. You see, home for him is where daddy's from. Okay, so he to me, I think he's in it. I think Trump, he's in it. Those two, I think definitely is a part of it. Oh yeah, but I don't think it's going to be here, and that's why I think it's really sad that you got the Negro men boasting and boosting up Trump. Oh, Biden and did this, Biden bringing politics all the way to their pulpit. When I hear that, I was like, he said, see, Deborah, what I tell you. I said, well, Father, is it going to ever, is it going to ever ease up? He said, no. That's why I said they're going to be destroyed in Deuteronomy 28. They ain't going to ease up. Ain't going to be no easing up. So I believe the B is that they gave out, because now they're starting on the babies now. I don't know if y'all know that or not. And they can't go to school. They're trying to make it, from what I heard, they did make it mandatory, because here they made it mandatory at the high school to start wearing masks again. Now I'm like, I already sent the kids before school opened, telling them they're gonna have to wear masks. See, they when they opened the door for the beast, and he was let loose, and they opened the door freely. They gave them the free will to him to fly any way he wants to, and that's how it's going to happen. See, and the beast, he's going to be ruling pretty much a lot of things. Okay, he's going to be ruling it, but it's with a system that he's going to have set up. Yep. And he said it's going to be a man. So it's going to be a man behind it. And the false prophet also going to be his sidekick. So it's some things in there, but I don't think that they're going to come from the United Snakes, because like I told y'all once before, the United Snakes has already fallen. You just ain't seen the debris, meaning you're going to see the debris, but it's going to be within and not without. See, everybody thinking, oh, Russia gonna war with America, China gonna war. No. Y'all don't have to cause them to bring war on this country. He's about to throw down himself. You see, and that's why I was saying, no one don't want to embrace the fact that the Father is got plans to destroy it by bringing it down to the debris. And guess what? It's within, y'all. That means nation against nation, mean people within itself. That's why y'all didn't get it when they passed that gun law. Y'all didn't get it when they passed that marijuana thing for medicine. They know they weren't giving that to no kids. They know they was everything they could possibly do to screw up the minds in this country so they won't figure out what they're doing. And they did it successfully. They did it. And all of that chaos going to be within. All of the chaos within is going to be in this land here. Everything's going to go down. I was talking to some Gentiles the other day, a couple of guys, and I was telling them, and they seem to think that they trying to keep up trouble between white and blacks. Now, these are heathens. Why are not heathens? These are Gentiles. Why are these Europeans, Gentiles, saying this? But then you get the Negroes over here killing each other up. You see, what are they doing? They're lowering the multitude. See, we don't understand as a nation of people. I'm going to go up. If there is 100% of us, or let's say 13% population, that's the number they got now of us here in the United States. If 7% of that 13 is almost half, over half, a little over half is gay and homosexual. Okay. Then you got, and in the closet and out of the closet, married and still dealing with men, on the pulpit and still dealing with men, workplace and still dealing with men. They doing it all over the place. That's the tribe of Judah right there. If you take that percentage, you see them dressing drag queen. You see? So I'm just saying just take 7 out of that 13 decided to live the homosexual lifestyle. Okay. Now you got how much you got left? You got 6. Okay. Now 5 of that 6 is in the I'm not gonna say the Hebrew is trapped in the world way of seeing things, like Christians, okay, like Catholics, like Jehovah's Witness, and all these denominations. You see what I'm saying? You're saying here now you end up with 1%. Wait a minute, Father, y'all. That's that small remnant, isn't it? Yes, it is. Because everybody thinking that the people in this country don't understand. This country is doomed. It has already fallen. The heathens know it. The Gentiles know it. But us as a people, we know nothing. So the Father showed me where there was a time period where he had blinded us so we wouldn't know only in part. So we knew something, but not a lot. But he said in that day, any and everything that was in the dark, light gonna be shining on it. You're gonna see it for what it is. You see? So Deuteronomy 28, we were to see it for what it is, but what they still don't want to accept or read it. They don't want to expound on it. They don't want to cover it. They don't want to preach it nor teach it to these people so they can understand. Because understanding it sets you free. And who in the live chat can tell me if people understood the end game of Deuteronomy 28, and it says until we are destroyed. If the people knew that, then what would they do? What chance do they have? Yeah, that 144,000. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. Uh-huh. You had a fever for 3 days? I hope you're feeling better. Are you feeling better now? Okay. How are you feeling now? Wow. Uh-huh. A lot of them moving out of this country. There you go. You just hit it. If they knew the truth, guess what? They have only one place to turn. You see? If they knew the truth, then they'll what? Turn to the Yah. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you told me it was in 2007. Okay, then. All right. In 11. Oh, in 2007. I know that's right. Would you say that made you a true one? That's good. It would turn them. It would turn them. Okay. Okay. If this way been revealed to me, if on one side has been revealed to me, okay, and that I'm gonna be paralyzed on this side, then I'm gonna have to use this side. You see? So if the Father said this is going to be gone, what am I going to have to work on? My spirit. Who's abiding your spirit? The Father. So if the spirit get the flesh under the subjection, they can take the mind of the flesh, but they can't take the mind of the spirit. You see how they work hand in hand, but they're not going to tell them. The people don't. You know what? I guess it's going back to the Father. What Father keep telling me, Deborah, what took place before the foundation of the world. I know who and what's what. When they make a left, I know they make a left. When they make a right, I know they make a right. Made you a true believer. To tell his family, and Yeshua said, they still won't listen. Uh-huh. Even if he came from the dead. That's scary, ain't it? If it came from the dead, they still wouldn't believe him. But that's the thing. If they don't, if once they realize, okay, you're gonna destroy that, I'm destroyed there. Okay, that's why my brothers are out here doing this. This is why they doing this and they doing this, they doing this and they doing this. Okay, okay. But let me go to the spirit side that's in me. I got a spirit, and I'm going to work with that that's in me, so that the Father can come and back there. And then if I lose it here, I still have it here in my spirit. Because that spiritual mind is powerful than this natural mind. It can take over this. It will take over this. So that's what the Father is going to do. He's going to wait until the curse is completed according to his will. And then that's when he's going to come and collect those that he's going to take and clean and put a new heart in, and so on and so on. Okay, but we got, who knows the day and the hour? You get what I'm saying? Who knows the day and the hour? That might be when all the chaos is going on in the United States. You see, you don't know, so you want to know now where you can turn versus waiting till a whole bunch of chaos and you don't know how to touch base in your spirit realm with the Most High in his spirit. You don't know nothing because nobody is saying anything. They ain't going to. It's a cover up. Oh, they think they know they think they really can beat the curse. You want me to tell you else who think they beating the curse? The heathens. That's why they don't think he's coming. They see in what we're doing and what they're doing to us, and they said, "Oh, he ain't coming for them. I don't care what that book said. He ain't coming. Not to them people. Them people gone. Them people acting a fool. Them people doing this to their own children. They doing this to their own wife. They doing this to their own husband. Them people, they doing this to their mother and their father. They ain't go hard. He ain't coming for that." That's how they see it. And they saying that because of the way we conducting ourselves, not because of who Ahia is. Don't get bent. They're not saying that because of him. They saying that because he ain't coming to get that nasty stuff. That's what they saying. They cutting up from the floor up, and they always did. They just don't own up to it. That's a cover up. We cover up who we are. We cover up our stiffness. We cover up our rebellion. We cover up our disobedience. We cover up our whoremonger. We cover up everything. But then the other nations can get us to do anything they want, and we'll bow down to them with not one problem. We'll get on this devil platform and talk about all the worldly news. She married a black man, black woman married, stupid stuff. Darkness. That's all darkness. What is it to gain all that? Why do all that have to be mended into people's minds? They gone here already. Why are you still mending that trash to their mind? Because that's what their minds love. You almost died. You was close to dying. Wow, you got a testimony then, huh? That's a testimony, huh? Mm-hmm. That's it. And that's the whole idea, is to make sure you cover truth. And that's the message I have for, I'm a upload for Janies, whatever his name is, because I don't like how he's talking about how the Hebrew Israelites, he don't care if you are Hebrew Israelites, you ain't nobody if you're not saved. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You ain't even making, because he's an Uncle Tom uncle. That's who he is. He got his pulpit from the hands of the heathens. I ain't even said Gentile, from the hands of the heathens. That's how he got his pulpit, because they would have been there and boot his tail out, you know. But because he said, I'm gonna tell y'all something I learned, and none of y'all will say nothing about this here. But listen to this: I've sat back in the last year and heard these Negro men, pastors, old enough to be your daddy and mine, and talking about they people so dirty to the point where, why is it that you got the pulpit, you got all these likes and these subscribers? Why can't you tell the whole world what these heathens doing? Why can't you tell the whole world what these Gentiles doing? You see what I'm saying? The news is covering what our people are doing. Like I say, we are cutting up from the floor. It ain't hid from y'all. Okay, but why is it that they always, him and Marcus Rogers, always covering the heathens and the Gentiles up, always covering them fully up? And I'd be like, wait a minute, y'all got all these likes. Marcus Rogers is almost up to 1 million, and Geno Jennings, I don't know what his number is, but the problem I have is y'all ain't telling nobody nothing. But it's okay. It ain't that Sister Deborah talking about the subscribers and what they have. The devil loves his own. So you're gonna have more than that. The gate that leads to destruction is broad. You see, that's where their ignorance is at. They don't understand that. See, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Narrow is the gate that leads to life, and very few shall find it. Broad is the gate that leads to what? Destruction, and many shall go therein. What is he saying? Come on, y'all. What is he saying? He wrapping this thing in spirit and truth. He wrapping it, because he's telling you, when you see the broad gate in the spiritual realm, and you see the narrow gate in the narrow realm, okay, let's bring it to the natural. Ain't too many in the flesh going in that narrow gate, okay? But there's many in the flesh going in that broad gate. So when they see their numbers, Deborah, they got to know they're heading to the broad gate, not the narrow. Because their people ain't going in my narrow gate, Deborah. That's what the people don't understand. They don't understand. He already told you. Narrow is the gate that leads to life. Okay? And very few shall find their end. You see? So therefore, the broad gate is what he said is broad. Many shall go in. So they don't understand when you thinking you got a lot of likes and a lot of striving, a lot of people following you straight in the narrow gate. They can't follow you straight in the broad gate. They can't follow you in the narrow gate. That leads to life. He said very few shall find. So if you got a large number, your number cannot enter into that narrow gate. It has to head to the broad gate. That's how ignorant people are. They figure, okay, set an example. I gave one the other day. Here it is, I'm driving. This highway has 3 lanes where you can get off. Why is everybody in the left lane going 1.5 miles backed up, and you got 3 lanes? Guess what I did? I said, in my mind, y'all, it didn't make any sense. But because I know spirit and truth, I said, in the spiritual realm, this lane is backed up all here. Why? And it's 3 lanes. I got out of that lane and went over there, and I was up to the light already. That lane's still back there 1.5 miles. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because people mindset follow the multitude. They don't have the sense, even in the natural, to follow the narrow gate. If you're having a concert and everybody at the event, do you know if there is 2,000 people out there, Okay? 1,095, no, 1,995 will be in the long gate. And if they had 5 lanes, they wouldn't go over to the other lane where they can go on into the concert. They would stay in the broad, the one that's long. I've learned that ever since I was young. I've seen it with my own eyes. And the only reason why he let me see it is because he was showing me how they are in the natural is how they are to him in the spirit. I was like, that is deep. And that's why when I see people who thinking and boast and thinking they got a lot of people and a lot of people following, a lot of praise and a lot of no. Go back to the churches, y'all. When them churches packed, they was getting all them tithes and offering, parking lot. They got so packed in the parking lot, they start to have security. Ain't that deep? That's just how packed these churches were at one time. Ain't nothing being taught in them, in the churches. No spirit, no truth. But they can't wait till the door is open. You see what I'm saying? This is exactly what I'm saying as far as how people would prefer to follow anything where the multitude, any place where the multitude, instead of saying, wait a minute, hold up. I know it's 3 lanes. Why are they following this one lane? No, this and that's everywhere I have been in life. And when it's to a point where you see a lane and you getting in it and you going on and you be saying in I'll be saying in my mind, I'll be saying, Father, how could they stay over in that lane? In this lane, I don't get it. And he always remind me, that's how it is in the spiritual realm. It's the same way in the spiritual realm. That's the same with narrow is the gate that leads to life, and broad is the gate that leads to destruction. That's the spiritual realm he's speaking of. Life mean eternal life. Okay? Broad gate mean the lake of hell. They so ignorant they can't grasp it. See, they just don't. I can't even use the word ignorant. I need to stop using that because that just means simply not knowing. They beyond that. That's such a good word. That's too good for the way the mindsets are today and how they're conducting themselves. And the main thing is when you bring people to the light, when you teach spirit and truth, you bring them to the light. Okay? You bring them to the light and let a higher take them from there. Once they get a taste of that light, they're going to be saying, you mean to tell me I've been in this for 30 years and this is really setting me free? You mean I don't have to be sick? I don't have to suffer? I don't have to be on drugs? I don't have to be an alcoholic? I don't have to be this and I don't have to be. You mean I'm that free? Yes, you are. But you ain't going to never know it because they won't tell the truth of the matter and bring you and usher you into what is spirit and truth. So you remain over on that side. Because to me, spirit and truth is for us before what took place before the foundation of the world. You can't top that. Even Yeshua couldn't top that because he was all done from that level before he even got down here. So when we neglect that, like when we just messed up from the floor, you see, messed up from the floor, and then y'all ain't got nothing to do with that. See, because it's like saying that, see, no matter how dark it is, the midnight hour, no matter what, they cannot see if I don't give them the eyes to see nor hear, and I don't give them the ear to hear, because I knew them before the foundation of the world, Deborah. I knew who they were. I knew their destiny, because this is how I found out Adam and Eve had chose to mission with Satan. This is how I found out. I said to him, I said, I was young, y'all. I was young now. So overlook how silly I was talking. I said, wait a minute. Hold up. You know everything. This was after he had already taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. I said, I used that back on him, y'all. I used it back on him. I said, furthermore, if you orchestrated it, and you orchestrated it from the heavens because of what was going on in the heavens, what took place in the heavens, that caused you to orchestrate things down here on earth, which is called your will. Why would you allow Satan to be in the garden in which you place man, Adam and Eve? I asked him questions like that because I'm why? And that's how I had to get my answer from him. It's because from this level in the heavens, they had already chose him. So when they came down here, I made their way clear. Hallelujah! So he was letting me know heavens has a sign A to Z, and we still on A trying to figure B out. That's how lost we are. See, and the thing about it is they had to have been that way in the heavens when they had to come down here. You know why? They bypassed, if you read it, there was other trees. There was tree to the tree of life. There was other trees. How did they bypass all of it and went to the tree where Satan was? Because that was their desire when they got down here to really seek out Satan. That's how he ended up with so many angels on his side. Because they already had an ideal of wanting, but they didn't follow. See, I think that the 1/3 had a, what you would call a opportunity to either remain or to follow, and they chose to follow. See, they didn't get to follow him, did they? See, they won't preach that either in spirit and truth. They but still down in the uttermost darkness, chain up. So you turn around and you say, wait a minute. Cain, he was going to follow Satan. Why? Because his mama and his daddy did. That's why when he got ready to have Abel, you didn't hear them say, and Adam and Eve, Adam knew Eve, and they had Abel. You won't find it. You won't find it. Because Abel was of Yah and not of Satan's. You see? That's why the blood of Abel was crying from the grave. He was speaking to Ahiah from the grave. And when he asked Cain, where is your brother? He was saying, hey, I'm not my brother's keeper. You show right, you ain't. You put him down. That's all right. That's all right. You put him down. There's just, all you have to do is listen to the conversation between Yah and Cain. Listen to the conversation between Yah and Cain and hear the spiritual message from Yah. You can hear it. You can hear it. But you can't hear it if he didn't give you that ear, that one ear, which is spirit, his spirit in your spirit, that you may hear. Okay? So that's why Cain was dealing with him, and he was telling him, but if I go, they're gonna be, in a sense, after me. They're gonna kill me. Who is they? Who is they? See what was going on behind the scene? Everybody thinking they was just Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel. And no. There was others. See, we bent because we think he can't do nothing unless we tell him to. Unless he check with us. Oh no, you can't do that. You this is the only one, and this is the one. The other ones, Cain, that was his sister's name. He was having sex and having another family. Y'all sit, you sit, and you sit. You still don't know where Abel come from. 99 trillion don't even know where Abel had came from. From the Most High Ahiah. That's why I never told you. And Adam knew Eve, and they had Abel. Throughout the whole Genesis, that's how they did with every son that was born outside of Abel. He always said, and the man knew his wife, and he had this son, and he had this son, and he knew his wife, and he had this son. But when it came down to Abel, it didn't say that, and they couldn't say it because the Papa wasn't gonna let them put a lie in there. They almost said it though. They almost said it, but he didn't let them go full force. Because he said, if it was so, Deborah, it would have fooled you. But because I orchestrated you before the foundation of the world so that you won't be fooled when I come and abide in you and teach you, you will see it in spirit and truth. And see, that's the reason why one gave a free offering and had a different heart, and the other one had a wicked heart. That's why, to the point where he was ready to kill the only brother he was close to. Why they was close? Because one, they had one, and right after that one, they had another one. As it was said, you see, he was killing what belonged to Ahiah. And Satan knew it. You see? This is how potent it is. It gets deep. And it's all good. It's all well. Because my father, you know what, I want to say this too. It's all good. Because my father's word is going to stand. When everything falls, when everything is in turmoil and everything is in chaos, you're going to remember Sister Deborah telling you, no matter what, my Ahiah is going to stand. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, the biggest cover up is spirit and truth. So I say I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in and being here tonight. And I say I will be back. And you all have a lovely night. Shalom and shalom.